Hi everyone, welcome back to Sports Kati. Today we have Rohit, Karan, Bhanu, and a new panel member Asjad with us, who also has a YouTube channel, Cricket for Us, whose link will be below. So you can follow him in through his channel as well. Today we are here to discuss about the a post review of the IPL season, and we have been thinking on how to do it in a short format. So the decision that we have made is that let's say what is the best playing 11 for each of us. And so I think we'll start with Rohit. What is your best 11 for this tournament?
Yeah, I know. I know we have decided to talk only about our teams for the season, but then have to first give big credits to Mumbai Indians. They literally walked this IPL. They were well ahead of rest of the teams, and that was shown in the finals also. And there's the fifth IPL title for them, and also they became the second team to defend the title since after CSK did that in 2010 and 11. And Mumbai, the other thing which was talked about is Mumbai wins only in odd years. They managed to win in even year. Now, I did hear a comment yesterday saying that 2020 is an odd year, so maybe because of that. Anyways, I'm not wasting my time. Let's go to my playing 11 for the season. So as you can see on the screen, this is my playing 11. I've gone with KL Rahul and Shikhar Dhawan as my openers, and I think the reason for that is the numbers, the heavy runs. They have scored 600 plus runs for both of them, so I've gone for them as the openers. Followed by Virat Kohli at number three. Now this is slightly controversial, I understand, but I feel Virat Kohli has had a decent season, 466 runs and 121 strike rate. The strike rate is slightly low, but given the responsibility he had in the team, I think he has done well, and he did play a couple of really big match winning innings and took the team to the knockouts. So for me, he slots at number three. I've gone for Surya Kumar Yadav at number four. Now this is where I was actually thinking a bit. I wanted to think of, like, I thought of the option of going Surya Kumar Yadav at three and maybe Shreyas Iyer at four. I did look into that option, but for me, I wanted Kohli to play. So Surya Kumar Yadav is a sure shot in my team. And so that means Shreyas Iyer, who I am a big fan of, misses out. So that's the one player I've dropped from my team or couldn't find a place. At number five, I've gone for AB de Villiers. Again, the reason I've gone for AB de Villiers is that match winning ability of his. Coming at number five or coming late down the order, he can score big runs in the end, and that shows in the season. Even though he bats at number four, five, he has scored 450 plus runs at 158 strike rate, and again has single-handedly won matches for RCB this year. So that's my top five batsmen. Now coming to the all-rounders, I've gone for Rahul Tewatia at six. I feel, have had a very good season. Someone who we did not expect in the beginning of the year or beginning of season. I think he had a very good season, and he was one of the standout players for Rajasthan Royals, especially the innings where he hit five sixes of Cottrell. That is explosive innings. But apart from his batting lower down the order, he also contributed with the ball. He took 10 wickets at a very decent economy rate, which for me is the reason why he slots at number six. Washington Sundar is number seven. For me, he slots at number seven. I'll explain the reason as I complete my 11. But one big reason is that his economy rate of 5.96, which is exceptional. To have an economy at below six, for me, someone who balls in the power play, that's exceptional. So that's why he is at number seven. And also, he gives you that, a bit of batting also. 8, 9, I've gone for Rashid Khan, Jafra Archer. However you want, you can put them in the batting order. Uh, Both of them just walk into, I think, most of the teams. They have been exceptional for their teams, and that's shown in their economy rate, which is exceptional. Archer, there was a stat which actually showed how much Archer stood out from the rest of the Rajasthan team, where it said that Archer's economy of 6.55 and the rest of Rajasthan bowling economy is around 10. So that just showed how good Archer was. And Rashid Khan has the best economy in the entire tournament and 20 wickets to go for. So they both bat for me at number 8 and 9. And I've gone with Trent Bolt as my final foreign player. Now, this is something which I had to think a bit about. I thought about Trent Bolt or Kagiso Rabada for some time. And I've gone for Trent Bolt because I wanted some opening overs. So this is exactly why I told that, about Sundar, that why I have Sundar. So now for me, the opening bowlers for me should be would be Trent Bolt and Sundar. They will open the bowling for me. and Bumrah and Archer can chip in with 1 over each if the situation requires for them to. So that is why I want Sundar in the team, and that's why I want Trent Bolt in the team. Rabada for me is similar to Archer and Bumrah, and for me Bumrah and Archer trumps Rabada because Bumrah has the same strike rate as Rabada. I know he has 3 wickets lesser than Rabada, but that's just because he played 2 matches less, and the economy rate of Rabada is way higher than the others. So I've gone for Bumrah and Archer. Anyways, this is my playing 11. So I will pass on to Bhanu.
Thanks, Rohit. Definitely, what an IPL this was. I don't think anybody looked forward to IPL matches more than this season, purely because of COVID-19 and how gloomy life has been otherwise. So once again, thank you to all the players. Thank you to BCCI. I'm doing what Harsha Bhogle does at the end of every game, but it did feel very good to look forward to every game, look forward to what's going to happen. And at the end of the day, I must say Mumbai Indians were the clear-cut favorites, not only because they played so well, but because also no other team was able to match their consistency, and all 11 players coming to the party as often as Mumbai Indians did not happen with other teams. So I think that's credit to the Mumbai Indians players, staff. Well done. Congrats, 5th title, no joke. Coming straight to the point of this episode, I think playing 11, like Rohit said, I think a couple of players made it right into the playing 11. I'm sure a lot of us will have overlaps. Uh, but I think this is an IPL of two kind of stories, a couple of disappointments for a few of us as fans. Fans of Rohit Sharma, fans of Ben Stokes. All we can do is sulk now, right? Virat Kohli, for that matter, really nowhere near his best previous forms, right? 900 runs in a few seasons. That's the Virat Kohli we remember. So definitely this IPL had a lot of disappointments, if I can say, from an Indian fan perspective, for sure. A couple of them were Bhuvneshwar Kumar not being able to, continue the tournament, because I felt he would be a great asset going into the Australian season with his variations. Uh, but I think for me, the other big highlight this season was the emergence of overseas bowling players as key for almost every team. If you take all the overseas players in this tournament, barring maybe Warner and ABD, there is no other batsman that comes to mind that was able to go to Dubai and apply their skills and not just take on the Indian bowlers, but also their other counterparts from the world. Which is why, Henrik Rotje or Jofra Archer, Rabada, Bumrah, Rashid Khan, Trent Bolt, all of them, all these names that I'm taking are just pure class, world-class bowlers, almost number one, number two for their teams, which goes to show that there definitely is a lot of good Indian batting talent that got an opportunity to shine this season. Which was, I think, the story or the highlight for me. Devdutt Padikkal, Surya Kumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan. For Rajasthan, Sanju Samson didn't have a great season, but he showed what he's capable of to the selectors. And for that matter, I think even Sunrisers Hyderabad, like after Bairstow was excluded from the team, Wriddhiman Saha came in and really performed well back-to-back in 3 innings to sort of show and prove his contention for the international side. So I think for me, having said that, my playing 11 is also based on these factors. I've tried to take the best overseas bowlers who did really well into my playing 11. I've tried to make sure that I'm not excluding the best overseas bowlers in my playing 11 because they were the highlights. I've tried to include a few star Indian highlight batsmen, which I felt really emerged and did fantastically this season. And that's why I'm definitely going to have KL Rahul open up the innings for my playing 11. What a fantastic season he had. Great strike rate, great shot making. Really, he didn't have to depend on drop catches or missed chances to make runs, unlike some of the other top scorers. And he calls for his space. And I think so does Shikhar Dhawan. At the end of the tournament, we all can look back and say, yes, Shikhar had one of his best IPLs. And in my team, David Warner gave a big run for his spot when I was choosing my 11. But I really felt coming into the finals would not have been possible for Delhi at the end without Shikhar Dhawan's season. So that's my opening batting pair. At number 3, I've gone with Surya Kumar Yadav. I think he had a fantastic season all across. Rohit Sharma getting out early a couple of times. Quinton de Kock got out on ducks a couple of times. And Surya Kumar Yadav was always there, right? I don't remember him having more than a couple of bad innings below 10 scores, which just goes to show how good his temperament is for a team as big as Bombay, which went on to become as champions. And I think and the icing on the cake for me was his reaction to the run out yesterday. Big final, big stage for him to go and make runs, and just the selflessness he showed in sacrificing his wicket for Rohit Sharma really goes to show he's a great character beyond the field as well. And I really look for. I'm hoping I can see a lot of him on the international stage as well. On number 4, I have Shreyas Iyer. I think goes without a doubt. He is one of India's best upcoming batting talents, and we'll see a lot more of him in the seasons to come. Honestly, I think he was one of the best young captains on the side. Almost every other team had an experienced captain leading them. Shreyas Iyer was almost all by himself, taking a lot of pontings, learnings from and coaching and applying them on the field for his team. So I really felt he carried the team well as alongside his batting, and that also is one of the reasons why I have not hesitated from choosing him in my playing 11. Despite not having a 600 plus run season, I think he did really well given Delhi's team composition and what the game demanded at a lot of times. At number 5, of course, AB de Villiers. I don't think we all need any reasons to justify his inclusion in our teams. So I'm not going to waste too much time on that. But the only hope here is that ABD goes out of IPL eventually with the title. So I hope he can come back next season, still play for RCB, and really, lift that trophy, because the amount of excellence he's given to the game, the amount of rewards as fans we've gotten just from watching him has been fantastic. And it's just my wish to see him lift that trophy. And having said that, one man who's lifted the trophy as much as anybody else is Kieron Pollard, and he's next on my team. 5 trophies now. He's been with Mumbai Indians since the start. What a beast, right? Carries the team in almost every situation. He can field well, throw well. He can come and chip in those quick overs without going for too many runs. And well, he had the highest strike rate yet again in this IPL. So we don't need to talk about his batting beyond that. And I think one other surprise for me this IPL from a batting perspective was Jofra Archer, about how cleanly he was able to strike, and how well he was able to come and play the best bowlers in the world around the park. I'm sure him being a 150 kilometer plus bowler helps him select his shots with ease, but he's a fantastic hitter, and I think this is where I would like to start my bowling lineup with Jofra Archer, because he's a great batsman also, for being the bowler that he is. And the biggest surprise of the tournament, Rahul Tewatia, is up next right after him, right? He was sent for Rajasthan at number 5, number 6, number 7. He was sent at number 3 a couple of times. And when he went and he converted small, slow knocks into match-winning knocks, he went and played steady ship knocks a couple of times. He chipped in with 10 plus wickets in the tournament. He took a couple of brilliant catches. He was all over the park for runouts. And I'm definitely sure Rahul Tewatia had a fantastic season. He's going to go back as a happy man, and I hope to see more of him next season when the IPL returns. The last 3 slots, the last 3 main bowlers for the team, well, Kagiso Rabada, Jasprit Bumrah, and Yuzvendra Chahal. I had to pick between Chahal and Rashid Khan as my frontline spinner, but just because we can choose only 4 overseas, I've gone with Chahal and kept Rashid Khan on the sideline. So that's my team. Dhawan, Rahul opening, Suryakumar Yadav and Shreyas Iyer steadying the ship in the middle order. AB de Villiers, Kieron Pollard, Jofra Archer coming in right after them. And then we have main frontline bowlers in Rabada, Bumrah, and Muzi Sahaj.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Banu. We have 2 RCB fans here. So the panel is a bit RCB heavy. It's all right, boys. Your season will come soon. But being the only Mumbai Indians fan on the panel, I'm very happy with how the team has performed. Rohit is also an MI fan, but I think MI comes number 2 on that list. We've broken the jinx and we've done everything right. So the reason why Mumbai Indians was so successful is because they had their core was the same throughout the season, and that makes Mumbai Indians the team it is. And because of that consistency, let's say if Rohit Sharma and de Kock fail, number 3, number 4 will perform. If number 3, number 4 fail, number 5 or 6 will perform. Keeping that in mind, and the discussion of this panel is the IPL the 11 for the season, I have gone with a very heavy Mumbai Indians influence team, and out of the 11 players they've picked, 5 are from the Mumbai Indians squad. So I would like to open with KL Rahul and Shikhar Dhawan. Uh, I felt that KL Rahul was the orange cap holder, so he had to be in the team. I felt that Dhawan had a very good season this time because the one issue with Dhawan has always been that the rate at which he scores runs are very slow. But this season he had a strike rate of 145, and that was really spectacular. The other options which I considered or could have replaced Dhawan would have been Agarwal and Padikkal. But because Shikhar Dhawan was the second highest run getter, he is the opener in my team. Number three, I have put Surya Kumar Yadav in my team because he scored 480 runs at an average of 40 and he has a strike rate of 145. More than that, the consistency he's been performing with. That's because Rohit Sharma had a very bad season. He scored about 300 runs throughout the season, and there have been multiple matches where he would get out early, which means that Surya Kumar Yadav would come out in the power play and he would have to play those tough overs. And playing those tough overs, scoring 480 runs, I think Surya Kumar Yadav did a fantastic job. And I think it's the time for the Indian team to recognize his talent and get him into the T20 team at least, so that we can see how he performs against the big players or at the international level. At number four, I've gone with Ishan Kishan. So Ishan Kishan was Mumbai's highest run getter. He scored 516 runs with an average of 57, and he had a strike rate of 145. Now he did all this while missing the first two games. He only had 13 innings throughout the season, and he was just in a spectacular form this season. The second thing is he was the highest six hitter throughout the tournament. You would expect your Russells, your Pollards, your Pandyas, your Dhawans, and the bigger boys to win that particular award, but it was Ishan Kishan who hit 36s and was the highest six hitter. Now, another reason why I have kept Ishan Kishan and Surya Kumar Yadav is because they're uncapped players, and Rohit Sharma being so important to the Mumbai Indians team, even though he did not perform, these two guys were able to take that pressure off the team and score those runs which usually Rohit Sharma scores for the Mumbai Indians team. So that is why I've gone with Surya Kumar Yadav and Ishan Kishan at 3 and 4. At 5, I have Kyron Pollard come in, and that is only because of the way he smacks the ball. His strike rate is he had the highest strike rate this season throughout the tournament, and his strike rate was 191, and that's crazy. He scored 268 runs, and he also bowled a few overs while picking up 4 wickets. Now, the other contention I had for number 5 was Marcus Stoinis because he had a very rare season where he scored about 350 runs and he picked up 10 wickets. But I felt that Pollard, because of his ability to finish games and because of his strike rate, I went over Pollard. I went for Pollard instead of Stoinis, and I'm hoping that my bowling can take care of what happens in the games. That's why I've also not put Marcus Stoinis. At 6, I have Hardik Pandya. Now, Hardik Pandya would walk into any team if he was bowling this season, but this season, because he has not been bowling and just been batting, even from that perspective, he scored 281 runs with a strike rate of 178, and he hit 25 sixes. Now, the reason why Karan Pollard and Hardik Pandya are important or have been important for Bombay is because even if the team has scored maybe 130 runs in the first 15 overs, these two guys would come down and hit about 60, 70 runs. Now, T20 is no more the game of just the top three. It is the game of 5, 6, and 7. You need these guys to come in and start going from the word go. And that is why having Karan Pollard at 5 and Hardik Pandya at 6 made sense because these guys hit big and they score fast runs. And that is why I've gone with Karan Pollard and Hardik Pandya at 6. At 7, I've gone for Washington Sundar. Now, Washington Sundar for me had a fabulous season this time. His bowling economy throughout the season was 5.96. It was the third best in the season. Even though he only picked up 8 wickets, the amount of pressure he would create for RCB, playing for RCB against the opponent in the power play overs was phenomenal. And that is the reason he's been picked up for the international team as well. Because you're guaranteed that in those 3 overs, the opponent will not be able to get runs. And that is why I've gone with Washington Sundar. The other option I had here was Rahul Tewatia because he also had a phenomenal season where he hit those 5 sixes. He picked up about 10 wickets, and he had a very good season this time as well. But just because Tewatia can't bowl in the power play, I've gone ahead with Washington Sundar for my team. At number 8, you have Jofra Archer. Jofra Archer was the MVP of the season. He bowled well. I mean, he had an economy of 6.55. He picked up 20 wickets. I think his catch was the best catch of the tournament, in my opinion, the one he took at the boundary. So Jofra Archer is a no-brainer. He just walks into any team. Fantastic player, but the only issue was his team finished eighth. Other than that, he had a fabulous season. Then I have Rashid Khan coming in at 9. Rashid Khan had a fabulous season this time. He also picked up 20 wickets with a bowling economy of 5.37. That is the best throughout the season. And just because it's very difficult to read Rashid Khan what ball he's going to bowl. He's a good fielder. That makes an added bonus to the team. And Rashid Khan also walks into my team. My 10th player would be Jasprit Bumrah. He picked up 27 wickets with a bowling economy of 6.73. There's nothing to talk about him. He's just too good. And then my 11th player I've gone ahead with is Kagiso Rabada. Now, Kagiso Rabada was the purple cap holder. He picked up 30 wickets, but out of those 30 wickets, he only got 1 wicket in the power play, and the remaining 29 wickets were picked up at the death. Or maybe he might have picked up more than 1, but I think it's about 2 or 3, not more than that. His majority of the wickets have come in the death overs, and that is why I've gone for Kagiso Rabada over Trent Bolt, because I think I have Washington Sundar and Jofra Archer who can bowl for me in the power play, and I would need some solid backing in the death overs, which would be provided by Rabada and Rabada and Jasprit Bumrah. So my playing 11 then becomes KL Rahul. He'll also be keeping, and he's the captain of the team. So it's KL Rahul, Shikhar Dhawan, Surya Kumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan, Kieron Pollard, Hardik Pandya, Washington Sundar, Jofra Archer, Rashid Khan, Jasprit Bumrah, and Kagiso Rabada. That is the 11 I've gone with. Over to Asjad, man. You can just take us through your team now.
Of course. Thank you, first of all, to everyone for allowing me on this brilliant platform. Secondly, Mumbai Indians, what a team they are. Honestly, this IPL has been the closest IPL I've seen in years. And one thing I've really enjoyed is that teams like CSK have gone out. Teams like Rajasthan Royals, which I was expecting to be in the top 4, didn't even get close. They were last in the entire league stage. So the way this entire tournament shaped out was absolutely fantastic. Mumbai Indians was like Australia from 2003 or 2007. They looked like nobody could beat them, and they did exactly that. They won the championship. I'm not a Mumbai Indians supporter whatsoever. However, I am glad they won because they deserved it. I'll go through my team. So like everyone else, I have gone with KL Rahul opening for me, 670 runs. Everyone's talked about it. The most consistent batsman in this season. He's got the orange cap as well. So perfect. He got that brilliant 100, that 132 that I just can't get out of my head. So have to put him in. You got Devdutt Padikkal for me as my second opening batsman. What can I say? He got that award for emerging player. That's fine. But in terms of the way he played, he just reminded me of a mixture of a bit of Yuvraj Singh, but a more composed Yuvraj Singh, if that makes sense. And because of that reason, I thought he gets into the side. He was consistently performing for RCB when Aaron Finch would get nothing, Kohli would get nothing, ABD doesn't get nothing, but him getting 20, 25 runs is like him getting nothing. So basically, Devdutt Padikkal held up RCB for more than half of their league games, got them to a stage where they could lose the last 4 games and still make it to the playoffs. Unfortunately, he didn't perform as well in the playoffs, but again, doesn't matter. I think he gets in. For me, I've got 3 and 4. I've got Surya Kumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan. Everyone's talked about their partnership, them being the core of Mumbai Indians this season. Surprisingly, even though Mumbai Indians had Rohit Sharma, they had Quinton de Kock. But as soon as one of those failed, you had Surya Kumar saying, "Don't worry, I'm here. I can sustain this ship." And Ishan Kishan, he's played 2 or 3 less games than all the other people in who are in that top run getters this season. But it's just brilliant. It's 516 runs at an average of above 50, 55 or something. His strike rate, never mind the strike rate, he hit the 36s, as Karan said, the highest 6-getter with 13 innings. That's crazy. That means he's hitting over 2 sixes a game. It's absolutely fantastic. So my top 4 are pretty solid in my opinion. But going further down, I'd actually put Hardik Pandya in at 5. He didn't get a chance to bat at 5 enough this season. He didn't bowl this season, but in my personal opinion, I think Hardik Pandya, the hitting that he did, the power that he has. He said before the tournament as well that he feels like he's in the best shape of his life for power hitting. And he showed that. His strike rate was 179, 180. Whenever he came in, he'd score runs apart from the final, but let's not talk about that. But barring that, he scored brilliantly. He smashed it. I was a bit confused about going for Hardik Pandya or dropping someone else and putting Kieran Pollard in because of his bowling ability, but I really wanted Marcus Stoinis into the team because he gives you that bowling advantage. Pollard does bowl. He bowls well in the death as well, but he hasn't taken as many wickets. Marcus Stoinis has taken 13 wickets this season, which is surprising to hear because I never expected him to be a good bowler whatsoever. I saw him bowl in the Australia-England series and I thought, why is he even getting a chance? But what he's done in this IPL is very, very impressive. His economy is a bit high. It's about 9, but so is Pollard. So I think just as a comparison, I think for what Marcus Stoinis did for Delhi Capitals, he gave them that solidity. Even when he opened up, he only played 2 games as an opener. But for me, he's at number 6, just behind Hardik Pandya. They can float about the 5 or 6, depending on the situation. Then I have a long list of bowlers. So my bowlers start at 7. I've got Jofra Archer and Rashid Khan. Everyone's talked about Jofra Archer. I don't think anyone's even left him out. So there's not much I can talk about it. The biggest deal for me is he bowls above 150 kilometers per hour. His economy is possibly the best for fast bowlers this season. I think it's 6.55. And his hitting, surprisingly, he's done an amazing job at coming in randomly, especially at the beginning of the season, and just smashing those sixes. He hit, 27 or 28 runs off one of the final overs in a game. And that surprised me a lot. So yeah, he gets in number 7, Rashid Khan at number 8. What can I say about him? He's got the best economy. He takes wickets. Even when the opposition is trying to defend him, he just finds a way to take wickets. I really hope he plays a lot more test matches, to be honest. I want to see him how he does in that. But honestly, Rashid Khan walks in there. For me, the next 3, Trent Boult, Jasprit Bumrah, and Yuzvendra Chahal. Trent Boult, the best power play bowler this season. I needed someone to bowl in the power play, like a lot of others have mentioned already. I'd actually go Trent Boult, Archer, Trent Boult, and then Bumrah, Trent Boult. So I'd use up Trent Boult very early on in my team. He's got 25 wickets. 25 wickets. That's crazy. He's got most of them in the power play. So brilliant bowling. You've got Jasprit Bumrah. You can't leave him out. He genuinely deserved the purple cap. I felt so bad that he wasn't able to topple Rabada. Rabada was very lucky to get those 4 wickets in the so-called semi-final against SRH, but I'll leave that aside. I'll leave my subjective nature aside and go with Bumrah. And then I've got Chahal as my second spinner to bowl with, Rashid Khan. Both of them can spin it both ways. Both aren't, Rashid Khan is considered a mystery spinner. Yuzvendra Chahal, not as much a mystery spinner, but he's very, very good. He's not as economical as Rashid Khan, but he takes wickets. He's taken 21 wickets this season, possibly RCB's best bowler. And I would say definitely for this team, he's my favorite for the spinning side. So Rashid Khan and Yuzvendra Chahal would bowl in the middle overs. And then I've got Bumrah to bowl most of the death and then Archer to bowl a couple in the death as well. So my team, if I go from the top, KL Rahul as my captain and wicketkeeper, Devdutt Padikkal, Suryakumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan, Marcus Stoinis, Hardik Pandya, Jofra Archer, Rashid Khan, Trent Boult, Jasprit Bumrah, and Yuzvendra Chahal. Thank you.
Thanks to all panelists. That was a really interesting discussions. Thanks for sharing your views about what your playing 11 is. And there were a few players that are common. There are a few players that are different. And we have really given an opinion about why, we all of us have a different team as well. So for the time being, if any of you have a different 11 or a different player to be included, please do that in the comment box, and please share your playing 11 in the comment box regardless. We would like really to hear back from you. If you like our content, do like the video, do subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends, and also do subscribe to Cricket for Us, which is run by Asjad. He also has a fantastic channel. The link is given in the description, and you can go to his channel and watch his videos as well. Thank you to all the panelists again. And let's conclude here. Until next time, stay safe.
Goodbye.